This is a tornado warning alert from KSLA News 12.
Hey again, everyone. Continue to keep you updated on storms that are now moving into the Shreveport-Bossier City metro. National Weather Service is indicating that they're probably going to issue another tornado warning because the storm that's coming on in, passing right over their office there at the airport. That's also where the radar is located. The storms are right now entering the west side of Shreveport up toward Blanchard and Belcher, and again also moving very quickly off to the east at around 50 to 50 miles per hour. So we'll track this out here basically through the remainder of the Arklatex, just to give you a heads up as to how much longer we're going to be dealing with this severe weather threat. In this red box that James has drawn, more than 3,000 lightning strikes. So this is a very, very electrical line of storms coming on through. Just a reminder, if you do happen to lose power, because we are live on TV right now, we'll also be live on KSLA.com and live on the KSLA News and Weather app, so you continue to get the weather information. If we're concerned about any sort of spin up, it's probably going to be here out Interstate 20. Just to the southwest of downtown. James, let's put the velocity back up here again and see what we're seeing in this part of this line of storms. Maybe right here could be a little spin up happening. This is now moving away from the radar, but right here. James, let's zoom in a little tighter on this and get an exact location, some street locations here. We are seeing right in here, there was the latest update. It's now moved. So now this is basically moving right along Interstate 20. I don't know if we can bring up any of the traffic cameras toward downtown and see what we can see here, because this is basically now right along Interstate 20. This is I-20 right here. Okay, that's I-20 at Lakeshore. Maybe we could get a tremendous amount of lightning that you see here. It does look like some cars are maybe putting the brake lights on. And we should get a radar update. There was the next update. It's still here. Whatever it is, still here. Whether it's some strong gusty wind or, again, keep in mind here, the green blowing toward the radar, the red blowing away, so you get this sense of counterclockwise rotation showing up here, again, right along I-20. Heading into, well, actually, it's heading right over the Red River right now. They're close to I-20 where the casinos are. Of course, you have the Horseshoe on the north side of 20 headed across the river into Bossier City. Here's Arthur Ray Teague Parkway, and the red line here, that is I-20 heading into Bossier City. So, again, seeing some circulation here. Again, here's Benton Road. You head up towards Shed Road, Texas Street. If you know that part of Bossier City, approaching Airline Drive right now, Old Minden Road, the Airline Drive exit here in Bossier City. What camera is this? Okay, this is Old Minden Road. Definitely there's a lot of wind. There's something, I don't know if we just lost a shot, but you saw how shaky that camera was. So again, this could be a possible tornado. Again, near the I-20 area, Old Minden Road, Benton Road, in that part of Bossier City. So you do need to be taking precautions for some very high wind coming in here. Let's pull up the debris tracker and see what we're seeing here. Not really seeing anything, any strong indications. Maybe right under, zoom in a little closer, James. Might be seeing some indication of something being kicked up here around Shed Road, Old Minden Road, just north of I-20. This is in Bossier City, moving between I-20 and 220. This part of Bossier City, Shed Road area, perhaps seeing something. But again, in this part of Bossier City, and James, let's zoom in real tight again, get you some some street names showing up here, as we have quite a few of those that'll pop up. Shed Road, Hazel Jones Road, Commerce Drive. Again, in the red lines here, this is 220 on the north side of Bossier City. The circulation, we're still picking it up. Again, the greens blowing toward the radar, which is back towards Shreveport. The reds are blowing away. So we are seeing a fairly small area of circulation, but it remains well defined here, tracking through the area. So this is going to be bringing in perhaps a possible tornado, and again, at the very least, some very, very strong wind. Now, right now, the circulation is about 2 miles from Red Chute. Okay, getting reports that there are power out at the Horseshoe Casino, our storm tracker there. This is their live picture. Yeah, you can see there's the Horseshoe. there are no lights on, so the power is out. So it does look like something has come through here. And again, based on that camera from Old Minden Road that we showed you a moment ago, there was very, very strong wind. So we'll track this whole area again right around 20, moving its way off to the east, a little jog to the northeast. Houghton, the circulation is probably going to stay just north, but just to err on the side of caution, go ahead and seek shelter, lowest level of the building that you're in, with as many walls between you and the outside as possible. I-20 and Lakeshore. I-20 and Lakeshore. That billboard obviously damaged by some strong wind and a possible tornado. Let's go to Doug Warner along I-20. Doug finding some damage there. Doug, what can you tell us?
When you were talking a moment ago about the casinos being in the dark, I mean, that entire area, downtown Shreveport, downtown Bossier City, Hamilton Road, that entire area is in the pitch dark. You get power back a little bit around Old Minden, then over by the Texas Roadhouse. That's dark, and that's where I started seeing some damage. Again, to what you were tracking earlier, when it seemed like it was going right down I-20, there is some damage just at first glance coming out the interstate, where a lot of power is off as we speak.
Okay, all righty. Thank you very much for that report, Doug. Be safe out there, Doug. Of course, one of our trackers out there in the field that's been helping us all afternoon long. I do want to pass along, this comes from the National Weather Service. They do have a report of damage to homes and a trailer park in the Houghton area, injuries being reported. Hillcrest and Oakside Drive. So in the Houghton area, Hillcrest and Oakside Drive, reports of damage to homes and a trailer park, and some injuries are being reported. Doug Warner at the scene here of where that damage was to a mobile home park, and reports of injuries and a possible fatality. I think we have his picture. Do we have Doug on the phone as well? Okay, picture's up.
Jeff, can you hear me?
Yes, Doug, yes.
You're on mic.
All right, guys, if you can hear me, I've just gotten here. You've got Bossier Sheriff, you've got the fire department. I'm not going to be able to get any closer, but let me, I walk it up. Hopefully I won't lose a mic here, if you can still hear me. Just down the road there? Yeah. All right. You got a fatality? Is that what? Yeah, I'm moving my car. All right. Hey, is that you? Yeah, I'm moving it. All right, guys. Sorry if you can still hear me. It is a log jam of vehicles and fire trucks.
We're also getting reports of damage now being reported around Shreveport, around Jewella, Murtis, Stonewall, Milton, San Jacinto, Catherine streets, all impassable. I think, James, you have pulled up the velocity for that storm that came through the Red Chute and Houghton area.
That's right. So let's go ahead and take Weather 2, because that's what we're kind of showing here. And this is about the approximate area where Doug was.
So if you live in this area in Claiborne Parish, you do need to be headed to your tornado shelter for, again, the possibility of a tornado. This is the same storm that came through Bossier Parish, came through Caddo Parish, and from what we've been showing you, the damage from our crews that are out in the field right now, and again, the reports of injuries and a possible fatality there in Bossier Parish as a result of this storm. Doug Warner has an update for us. Doug.
Doug Warner has an update for us. Doug.
All right, we're getting a word that we'll be, hopefully, Joy, get more of an official statement with the Bossier Parish Sheriff's Office. Their spokesperson, Bill Davis, has told us he will be making his way out here in just a little bit. I think we have those images, if the booth can call those up again, that we have a couple of shots out here. We have a couple of live cameras that we can be using at this time. But the images are just heartbreaking. The fact that you can see a very massive, a very large tree is what came down and just literally split this one of these homes in half. This puts us 2 miles east of the racetrack. So this goes right with what Jeff was when he was tracking it on air.
Power is still out in parts of the area. Over here, again, we're just trying to assess the damage as best as we can, make sure people who are injured, if they are injured, are getting the help that they need.
One of those trees just came down and just cut that. I mean, when you look at it, it's just kind of like sheet metal. I don't even know what the official name for it is, but it doesn't really stand a chance on these massive, I mean, these trees probably 40, 50 years old, if not older, that just came down and I mean, literally snapped that home in half practically.
Let's join Christian Picos right now, still in the Queensboro neighborhood, assessing storm damage there in that part of Shreveport. Christian.
Hey, Jeff. Yes, as you said, we are actually on Frederick Street here in the Queensboro neighborhood. And what you're taking a look at right now, that is the dash cam of the Storm Tracker 12 vehicle. And you're looking at a massive tree down here on Frederick Street. And that is just one of many trees that are actually down here in the area.
Okay, let's go back out to Doug Warner, still doing active rescues there in the Hillcrest Mobile Home Park there in the Houghton area. Doug.
Hey, a little bit of an update for you. We can kind of walk you up to the edge of the tape. Obviously, this is we've learned a lot more activity still going on here as we've been reporting. It's about at the bottom of that hill, I'd say. As you can see, a row of kind of mobile homes. These are RV type fifth wheels on the left side, about 6 of them or 7 of them down. That last one back against that tree line is the one that took a tree right on top of that home and cut that home in half. In fact, you hear chainsaws going on right now because a short time ago I asked, hey, is the emergency here over? Meaning we know there's a possible death out here, and I had 2 deputies tell me, no, it's not. It is still ongoing. I said, rescues? They said yes. They both nodded their heads.
So we're also continuing to assess the damage. We've got crews out all across a good chunk of Caddo and Bossier Parish assessing the damage. One of those, Marie Waxel, she's off of Bellevue Road in Bossier Parish assessing the damage there, and then here's what she has found.
I'm here along Tall Pines Road near Oak Thicket. That's just off of Bellevue Road in the Red Chute area. And there are multiple trees down, massive trees blocking the road. This is Tall Pines Road. It's extremely dark out here as there are a lot of power outages, just a few cars going back and forth. Now, just a short time ago, there were neighbors that were out helping, trying to clear the roadways to allow emergency crews to get through. As we came through here, we did see several emergency crews driving through the area, double checking this portion to make sure everybody was okay, no homes damaged. From what we can tell right now from the neighbors we spoke with earlier, no damage reports off of this area to be significant at this point. Just a lot of massive trees down here. Again, if we can turn just the camera around and just show you how dark it is out here right now, that is because the power is out. Again, we are out here in the Red Chute area. Neighbors and emergency crews just coming together trying to assess the damage and do what they can. Again, they are up against total darkness tonight.
Christian Picos, who has an update for us on some damage, some trees down, and some other damage that we're seeing here in parts of Shreveport. Christian?
Hey, Jeff, yeah, you're taking a look at this massive tree here on Norris Drive that has toppled over from one neighbor's yard into the other. And I don't know if you can see with all the light that we have on it right now, but this is a colossal tree with a number of branches. And these are thick branches, too. And this is a big trunk that fell over, which really just shows you just how big and how intense these wind gusts must have been at the moment this tree toppled over. It's a scene that is very common here in Bossier City along Norris Drive. Again, a very ominous scene, very dark. A number of power lines are actually out along the streets right now, and people are kind of wondering what's going on and still assessing the damage. And again, Jeff, as you said, it's very tough to do that with it being so dark right now. So as the sun begins to rise in the next few hours, we'll have a better idea as to where we stand and to really how bad this damage really is. But again, a massive tree here on Norris Drive has toppled over from one neighbor's yard into the other neighbor's yard. Again, it's a massive tree with huge trunks, and I guess that really just kind of shows you how intense these wind gusts might have been. But we're going to keep assessing damage here in Bossier. But Jeff, for now, we're going to send it back to you in the studio.
The severe weather threat winding down. We're going to go ahead and return you to regular programming. I don't anticipate any other need to break into programming to track any more dangerous weather, but appreciate your trust, appreciate you tuning in to us tonight, and again, we'll be covering the aftermath of the storms throughout the weekend.
This has been a severe weather update from KSLA News 12.